Okay, so our honeycomb has cooled for about 20 minutes. It's room temperature now. It's set, it's hard. It's nice and airy. You see inside, it's got brittle flakes in there. We're just gonna do a Hey, I'm Ken Addington. I'm the chef at Five Leaves Restaurant in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. The corner that we're on is kind of a nexus of 4 or 5 different neighborhoods that happen to be packed full of pretty cool people. Brunch is a very popular service at Five Leaves. We've got lines out the door, down the block, of hours and hours of waiting for pancakes and Moroccan scrambles. So we're gonna make some of our most popular brunch items today. We're gonna start out with a Bloody Mary, then we're gonna make a pancake, a Moroccan-style scrambled egg dish, and a chia pudding. The Bloody Mary at Five Leaves is one of our most popular items. We're gonna work on the recipe that we use there at the restaurant. We're gonna start off with a little spice mix for the rim. I've got a little mix, about 2 tablespoons of celery salt, about a teaspoon of Aleppo pepper, and half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. We're just gonna mix that together. And then I'm just gonna dip that in the top for a little bit of extra flavor. Obviously, you start out with a good quality vodka like Kettle One, 2 ounces of that, 4 ounces of tomato juice. I like to mix the liquids before I add the ice. That way, you don't dilute the recipe as much. A couple of dashes of hot sauce, 1 bar spoon of horseradish, a couple of dashes of Worcestershire sauce, and a squeeze of lemon. I'm gonna give that a nice mix, and then we add our ice. Okay, and then we add our nice garnishes. We're gonna start with a celery stick, very traditional, some green olives and cornichons, and then I made a cute little cucumber wrap with some radish sprouts. Okay, you got your cute garnish, and then a little crack of black pepper, and that's a Bloody Mary. Okay, now that we're set for drinks with our Five Leaves Bloody Mary, we're gonna go on to the ricotta pancakes. First part of the process in making the ricotta pancakes is going to be our honeycomb butter. Honeycomb butter is a compound butter that we make with a type of candy called honeycomb. Honeycomb is made from sugar that's aerated with a little bit of baking soda. We heat the sugar with some maple syrup over a medium heat, constantly stirring to make sure you don't burn the pot. We cook that out for about 10 minutes. It's gonna bubble a little bit. Now we're gonna add our baking soda. After we add our baking soda, we're gonna wanna move very quickly over to our set parchment paper. We can set the candy aside to cool while we work on our other processes. Cool this for about 20 minutes at room temperature. Okay, so our honeycomb has cooled for about 20 minutes. It's nice and hard, but we're gonna chop it up pretty fine and then fold it into some room temperature butter. So we're gonna use about a half a pound of butter to about a cup of the grated honeycomb and half a cup of actual honey and a pinch of salt just to balance it out. And our honeycomb, we're just gonna mash that in. You can use a potato masher, you can use a whisk, you can use your hands, whatever makes sense. That's it, honeycomb butter. Okay, so we're gonna get started on our Five Leaves ricotta pancake batter. So we're gonna start off with our wet ingredients. We've got our 7 egg yolks. Gonna whisk those up to break. And we're gonna whisk in our milk. Again, it's 1.5 cups of milk. And then we're going to whisk in our dry ingredients in this old-timey flour sifter. 2 cups of flour, pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. So we're just sifting that in, give it a whip. And at this point, we're going to whip our 7 egg whites. We're gonna whip these into a very stiff peak, so it holds all the air, it gives a lot of volume to the pancakes. Nice stiff peaks. At this point, we're first gonna fold our ricotta into the batter. You don't wanna work the ricotta too much. You want it to be nice and chunky. Still a nice big chunk of the ricotta in there. And then we're folding in our egg whites. We're folding it very gently. We wanna build volume and air so we get nice, light, fluffy pancakes. We're gonna add the zest of 1 lemon. You don't wanna add this too early because the oils from the lemon will denature the eggs. Just folding our lemon zest in, and we're ready to go to the stove. You wanna make sure you got a medium hot temperature on your griddle. Not too hot or you'll burn. This is a pretty dense batter. We make a big pancake. You'll see that there's long lines at 5 Leaves. We sell about 120 pancakes for brunch. It takes a little while to cook, but they're really worth it. About 4 minutes on each side. You're gonna lay them out, kind of wait for air pockets to start bursting on the top. That way you know that the bottom is set, and you'll be able to flip them over, and another 4 minutes on that side as well. When they're nice and golden brown on both sides, just gonna transfer these guys to a plate. Move it over here to garnish. We're always garnishing with some strawberries, some blueberries, and some banana. A nice big scoop of the honeycomb butter. A little maple syrup on that, and you're good to go. It takes patience to make them, and it takes patience to wait in line to get them, but they're definitely worth it. Next thing we're gonna work on, Moroccan scramble. That's a spicy scrambled egg dish. You've got grilled sourdough, nice chunky avocado mash, organic eggs cooked out with some merguez sausage, topped off with some chickpea salad, some nice fresh cilantros and chili. First thing we're gonna work on is our chickpea salad. So the chickpeas have a little bit of time to marinate before we put the rest of the dish together. About 2 cups fresh cooked chickpeas, about a half a red onion minced. I'm gonna mince up a little bit of red chili and some cilantro. I like to keep a little bit of the stem on the cilantro. It's got some nice texture and flavor. We'll add our chickpeas. We'll add our red onion. We've got a series of spices here. Za'atar, Aleppo pepper, and sumac. In addition to that, for sourness, we're just gonna add a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of olive oil, and I'm gonna finish it off with some minced chili. If you like it really spicy, you can leave the seeds in. For our purposes today, we're gonna take the seeds out. If you wanted to omit the chili altogether if you're not into spicy, that's totally up to you. So we're just gonna mix this up, let it sit for a while to marinate. Let's get the avocado mash together. So this is very simple. You're just gonna take 1 avocado, cut it up in the skin so it's already diced. We're gonna use a nice big spoon, just scrape that, slightly crush it. You just wanna build a little texture to it. You still want it nice and chunky. We're gonna add a touch of lemon juice, a pinch of salt. Lemon juice is for flavor, but it also helps keep your avocado green. The base of the Moroccan scramble is grilled sourdough. We're just gonna take a nice thick piece of sourdough here. I'm gonna drizzle this with a little bit of olive oil, and I'm gonna put it on the grill. You just wanna toast it on both sides, kind of warm it through. Now we're gonna work on our egg mix. For 1 portion, I'm gonna do 3 eggs. It's a generous portion, but that's kind of how we do at 5 Leaves. We're gonna do 3 eggs and a little bit of cream. Some people might not want to use cream because it's fatty, but brunch is a decadent meal, so we kind of go with it. Pinch of salt just to get some seasoning in there. This is the merguez sausage that we make in-house. Merguez is a lamb sausage, Middle Eastern origins. A lot of stuff in there, a lot of garlic, cilantro, cinnamon, cumin, paprika, chilies. It's a pretty complex recipe. It's delicious. You buy it at your butcher shop. If you want to use some chorizo or if you want to use some Italian sausage, it's all the same technique. We take our merguez sausage, we saute it up in a pan. You don't want too hot a pan. You're kind of cooking your merguez out a little bit, letting some of the fats come out, and you're going to cook your eggs in that fat. We're gonna add our eggs to that, and then we're gonna move it very slowly. It's not a fast scramble, what we do at 5 Leaves. We do something pretty specific with our scrambled eggs so that we kind of build layers of crepe-like egg. And what we're doing is we're pulling that crepe together, letting it set, then moving it again, letting it set and moving it again. Get nice, soft, custardy texture. It sets up into a little rose. It's very pretty. That's gonna plop right on top of the avocado mash, and then we got our herb mix to go on top of that as well. Some cilantro, the long chilies we used before, and then a little scallion. We got a nice grilled sourdough. Plop some of this crushed avocado mix, a beautiful rose of egg, a little bit of this chickpea salad we made, and some beautiful fresh herbs and chili. There you go, Moroccan scramble. We're gonna go now into our blueberry chia pudding. This is a vegan dish, a gluten-free dish, loads of healthy antioxidants. We like to take about a cup of blueberries, and we're gonna crush them up just a little bit to kind of bring out some of the juices and some of the color. So we have our crushed up blueberries. I'm gonna whisk in 2 cups of apple cider, pinch of salt, Squeeze a lemon. Then I'm gonna add 1 cup of chia seeds and whisk that in. And these chia seeds are gonna bloom. They're gonna get kind of a viscous film around them, and it's gonna turn into like a pudding-like texture. So we're gonna let these sit for about 3 hours. So you can set this into the fridge or leave it out at room temperature. It's not gonna hurt anybody. While our chia pudding is setting, we're gonna work on a little bit of garnish. On a low flame, got about 3/4 of a cup of agave syrup. I'm gonna whisk in 2 teaspoons of turmeric. And all we're doing really is plumping these apricots. We got some goji berries that we're gonna set into a little bit of orange juice and some macadamia nuts for crunch. Okay, cool, so we're all set for our chia pudding. We've got our chia seeds with the blueberries that have been soaking for about 3 hours. We have our goji berries and orange juice, again, just a little bit softened. We have our apricots and syrup. So the apricots, I mean, this is obviously more than we're gonna eat today. It's easy to set in the fridge and just kind of have it as a great condiment for this or anything else you wanna use it on. Crunchy, toasty macadamia nuts on top. Okay, so we're gonna chop up a little mint for brightness and aroma. That's it. Blueberry chia pudding. This is your typical 5 Leaves brunch. You've got your savory Moroccan scramble, sweet decadent pancakes, healthy chia pudding, boozy Bloody Mary. It's been fun making this for you guys. I hope you'll be able to make this stuff at home or come down and visit us at 5 Leaves and get into it at our place.
Are you ready?
Oh, I thought you were just doing a shot.
Oh,
Okay.
bless you.